The grapevine is buzzing with explosive details spanning from the middle of August all the way into September, and let me tell you, the backstage chatter suggests we are about to witness a vicious cycle of betrayal unlike anything we have seen in decades. I have been poring over these hints, connecting the dots, and the picture it paints is absolutely terrifying for our favorite characters. Grab a seat, because the dominoes are lined up perfectly, and once the first one falls, the devastation will be unstoppable. We are talking about alliances shattering, innocent people being locked away, and dark secrets clawing their way to the surface. Let us start with the first domino that is about to topple, Alexis. We all know she has been absolutely desperate to secure a permanent, loving place for Scout within the Legacy family, specifically to maintain those vital, irreplaceable ties to Sam and her side of the family. But how far is a grandmother willing to go when her back is against the wall? If my theory holds water, Alexis is about to strike a terrifying, high stakes bargain with Jack. I suspect she'll become a crucial pawn in his grand manipulative scheme. If Alexis manages to dig up highly classified confidential intelligence regarding the inner workings of the corporate empire, Jack might just hand her the ultimate leverage against Drew. Imagine the sheer chaos and emotional fallout if Alexis actually succeeds in this dangerous endeavor. She might win this rare, triumphant victory, finally forcing Drew to allow Scout to connect with her roots and her family history. But at what cost to her own soul? In the soap opera world, making a deal with a ruthless man like Jack is akin to forging an unholy alliance with the devil himself. I believe this single choice will act as a massive domino, pulling Alexis so deep into Jack's hidden agenda that she won't be able to find her way out. She genuinely thinks she is saving her granddaughter from isolation, but she might just be signing away her own moral compass, inadvertently setting the stage for a catastrophic collapse of her own hard-won stability and legal career. And speaking of that powerful corporate empire, let us follow that falling domino straight over to Jordan. With Curtis locked away behind bars in a terrifying facility, Jordan is drowning in an ocean of grief, guilt, and sheer helplessness. She desperately needs a lifeline, a major distraction to keep her from spiraling into a vicious cycle of despair. Enter Jocelyn. I am absolutely convinced that Jocelyn is going to hand Jordan the opportunity of a lifetime, offering her the highly coveted CEO position at the company. It looks like a brilliant fresh start, a way for Jordan to reclaim her power and focus her energy on a high-stakes corporate career instead of her broken heart. But in a town like this, a shiny new office is usually just a beautifully decorated trap waiting to spring. If you ask me, the CEO position is exactly the golden goose that Jack has been waiting for. By placing Jordan at the helm of the company, Jocelyn is unknowingly painting a massive, glowing target directly on Jordan's back. Jack desperately needs that corporate intelligence, and he will undoubtedly use his manipulative scheme to exploit Jordan's new authority. Jordan might believe she is stepping into a prestigious role that will save her sanity, but she is actually stepping directly into Jack's dangerous crosshairs. Will she realize she is merely a pawn in his hidden agenda before he completely destroys her career, her reputation, and her entire life? The dominoes are falling incredibly fast here, ladies, and Jordan is standing right in the path of total destruction. Now, let us shift our gaze to the absolute, undeniable mess that is Willow. The dominoes in her meticulously crafted life are already wobbling precariously on the edge of the table. I strongly suspect that Willow is about to spiral into a state of total, unhinged paranoia when she realizes that Kai and Trina have firmly aligned themselves with Michael. Willow is going to feel utterly betrayed, completely isolated from the people she thought she could manipulate and control. I can vividly see her marching right up to Kai and Trina, launching vicious, tear-filled accusations and screaming about their disloyalty. The threats that fly during this explosive confrontation will be legendary, setting a dark, dangerous, and ominous tone for everything that follows in her storyline. But here is exactly where the domino effect turns deadly and irreversible. We already know Trina has a mysterious, terrifying stalker lurking in the shadows, watching her every move. What if that stalker finally decides to strike, and Kai becomes the tragic victim of a brutal, violent attack? Given Willow's recent, highly public threats against him, she is going to look incredibly guilty to the police. I believe the true mastermind behind this attack will orchestrate a brilliant manipulative scheme, planting irrefutable, damning fake evidence to frame Willow for the horrific crime. Just picture the sheer drama of it. Willow, completely desperate and terrified, fighting for her freedom and her children while the real culprit roams the streets, laughing at her spectacular downfall. Her vicious cycle of lies and secrets is finally catching up to her, and the authorities might just lock her away for good. As if Willow does not have enough life-shattering problems on her plate, her mere presence is about to trigger another massive, family-destroying collapse. Michael is apparently ordering Willow to move back into the gatehouse on the family estate. Can you even begin to imagine Brooklyn's reaction to this news? Brooklyn is going to suffer a complete, absolute mental breakdown. She's already terrified that Willow is harboring a hidden agenda to sink her claws back into Harrison. I predict Brooklyn's overwhelming, suffocating fear will push her to overreact in the most spectacular, destructive fashion possible. She will launch a preemptive strike to protect her marriage, but in doing so, she will ignite a catastrophic war with Michael and shatter the fragile peace within the entire Legacy family. Her deep-seated paranoia will be the final domino that destroys the very life she is desperately trying to protect. Meanwhile, a completely unexpected, earth-shattering domino is about to fall right in the middle of the criminal underworld, and it heavily involves Jason and Britt. We have all been sitting on the edge of our seats waiting for Jason to make his big move, but I think he is going to leave Britt absolutely speechless. I foresee Jason looking Britt dead in the eye, his face completely serious, and confessing that he is completely unequivocally done with Sonny and the dangerous mob life. Instead of returning to his infamous role as the ultimate enforcer, Jason is going to pivot entirely, dedicating his life and his skills to supporting the legitimate business empire. This is a twist no one saw coming, and Britt will be left reeling from the magnitude of his words. This is not just a simple career change, ladies. This is a massive, seismic shift that will rattle the foundations of every single Legacy family in town. If Jason truly abandons Sonny, he leaves a massive, gaping void in the criminal hierarchy that cannot be easily filled. Sonny will be left completely vulnerable, forced to rethink his entire future, his security, and his strategy, without his loyal right-hand man by his side. And what about Britt? Will she support Jason's shocking transition into a corporate boardroom, or will the dark, looming ghosts of their past pull them both back into the shadows? Jason's monumental decision is a massive domino that will force everyone, especially Sonny, to scramble for survival in a town that takes absolutely no prisoners. Speaking of desperate survival, we urgently need to talk about the terrifying, claustrophobic situation brewing behind the cold, unforgiving steel bars of the prison. Curtis is locked up, stripped of his freedom, and in a twist of pure, unadulterated cruelty, he is going to find himself sharing a tiny cell space with the absolute worst monster imaginable. Jens? Initially, Curtis will treat Jens like the deadly enemy he is, keeping his distance and preparing his fist for a brutal, bloody fight. But Jens is a master of the manipulative scheme. He doesn't want to simply kill Curtis, he wants to use him as a pawn. I suspect Jens will offer Curtis an unholy alliance, dangling a sinister proposition that Curtis simply cannot afford to refuse. Perhaps Jens knows a dark, buried secret that could destroy Curtis's family on the outside. If Curtis accepts this devil's bargain, the prison will become the epicenter of a terrifying new criminal syndicate. If he refuses, he will have a massive target on his back every single second of the day, fighting for every breath. While Curtis fights a physical battle for his life inside those walls, Rick is fighting a losing, agonizing battle with his own sanity on the outside. I am calling it right now, guys. Elizabeth and Dante are going to share an incredibly intimate, emotionally charged moment of pure vulnerability. It might start as innocent comfort, a soft touch, or a shared tear, but Rick is going to witness it from the shadows, and it will push him entirely over the edge of reason. Rick's burning jealousy is a vicious cycle, and seeing the woman he obsesses over finding solace in Dante's strong arms will trigger his absolute darkest impulses. Rick will undoubtedly concoct a brilliant, destructive, manipulative scheme to tear them apart, setting off an explosive love triangle that will leave a devastating trail of broken hearts, ruined reputations, and shattered trust. And we absolutely cannot forget the ticking time bomb that is Hudson. He is relentlessly hunting for the truth about the innocent child Ethan is so desperately trying to keep hidden from the world. In his ruthless, unwavering pursuit, Hudson is going to cross paths with the one and only Ava. Now, Ava might not know the entire truth right off the bat, but you guys know exactly how she operates. She will hold on to a tiny, crucial puzzle piece, thinking she can cleverly use it to her own advantage. But by engaging in this dangerous dance with Hudson, Ava is unknowingly stepping into a lethal, inescapable trap. She will be dragged, kicking and screaming, into a hidden agenda that could literally shake the entire town to its core. The secret surrounding Ethan's baby is far more dangerous than anyone realizes, and Ava might just become its next tragic casualty. Finally, the most chilling, terrifying domino of all belongs to Anna. She is rapidly losing her fragile grip on reality. heavily influenced by the haunting, manipulative whispers of Peter echoing in her mind. Under this dark, sinister influence, Anna is going to set a lethal, inescapable trap specifically designed to eliminate Brit once and for all. But as we all know, the dominoes never fall exactly as planned in this town. I strongly believe that at the absolute last second, a wildcard character will intervene, throwing a massive wrench into Anna's meticulously crafted manipulative scheme. The deadly trap will backfire spectacularly, turning Anna from the calculated hunter into the desperate hunted. She genuinely thinks she is executing a flawless master plan, but she is actually engineering her own spectacular, highly public downfall. The next 3 weeks are going to be an absolute bloodbath of raw emotions, dark secrets, and unforgivable betrayals. From Curtis and Jens forging an unholy alliance in the darkest corners of the prison, to Willow fighting for her freedom against impossible odds, to Jordan unwittingly stepping into Jack's corporate crosshairs, the dominoes are falling faster than we can even track. Every single legacy family is teetering precariously on the brink of a total, irreversible collapse. The writers are clearly not holding back any punches, and neither should we, as we watch this incredible drama unfold. Will anyone actually make it out of August with their lives, their families, and their sanity completely intact? Or are we about to witness the permanent, devastating destruction of everything we hold dear?